Hello there. Welcome back to my channel. I'm laughing because I just realized these are rechargeable hand warmers that I take out to recess when it's chilly, and they're magnetic, so I stuck them up on my fridge and they kind of look like googly eyes. But if you saw my last vlog, which was all about prepping for winter break while trying to reduce the overwhelm, go back and watch it if you missed it. It is now the next day, so it is Tuesday, December 9th. I'm verifying with the clock, and today we are officially starting student gifts. Now, starting is not the right word. We are assembling. I started this process over fall break when I started collecting some of the items that I would need, but today is the day where we are actually putting them all together. And my goal, I think, is to have them all done by the end of the week. Knock on wood, cross our fingers, whatever we need to do. But that way I can go into the last week of school before winter break, which is next week, stress-free, or at least less stressed. So let's jump into it. All right, there are basically 4 different groups of gifts that I'm prepping for students. First, I am prepping gifts for my small group students for house day. As a staff, we are divided into houses, and then on house day, we have a small group of students. I have like 12 students in my group that are all in the same house as me, and they are all 4th graders. Now, I teach some of the students, but not all of the students. So I wanted to give them a gift that kind of spoke to our house. However, I also don't have too much time or energy to put into it. Therefore, I'm doing the exact same thing that I did last year. There's gonna be a pattern, but those gifts need to be done by tomorrow because tomorrow we have our last house day before winter break. Then I'm also prepping the individual gifts that I will give to each of my students. Again, we're doing what we did last year. So if you were around last year and watched those vlogs, you already know about that. I am prepping some saran wrap balls or plastic wrap balls for a game that I do with the whole class. I break them into 3 different groups, but it's a way for them to get little prizes and trinkets, but it makes it into an experience. So I have to prep those. And then finally is the pancake breakfast, which my switch teacher and I combine classes on the last day of school before winter break. And I cook pancakes for all of the students. We do a big pancake breakfast.
You will have pancakes and you'll like it.
And that is kind of like their final hurrah, if you will. But before we start prepping all of that, speaking of gifts, if you saw my last video, you know that I am participating in Secret Santa. Now, my next video that goes up after this one, you will actually see the behind the scenes of all of the gifts that I prepped for my Secret Santa, as well as my team teachers and some of the assistants that I work with. But I need to go deliver my day 2 gift to my Secret Santa before everyone gets here at school. I have the benefit of being the first one here every morning, so I can go deliver it in secret. But today's kind of theme is her favorite snacks, and one of the things she mentioned is Laughing Cow cheese. And so I had this in my fridge, but I need to add it to the gift bag because obviously I was keeping it refrigerated. So we're just gonna kind of add that in wherever we can find space. That'll work. Tuck the tissue paper. I'm gonna go deliver this, and then my Secret Santa gift today was already delivered to my room. I opened my last one in the last video, so I figured I would open this one as well. Okay, here's their next clue. With glue and paint and thread and shears, I turn old junk into treasure that endures. Okay, I feel like based on yesterday's clue and then based on this one, I'm getting an idea. I could be wrong. I'll have to verify the next 3 days. This is basically a little gift each day for this full week, and then the reveal is on Friday. So let's see. I love just this clear plastic bag with the tissue paper. Ooh, fuzzy socks. I feel like people either love receiving fuzzy socks or they hate it. I wear fuzzy socks every single day when I get home from school. That is what goes on my feet. And currently, this is so embarrassing, but the pair of fuzzy socks that I'm using have holes on the bottom of both of them, but I love them so much and I don't want to get rid of them. And I only have like 3 pairs of fuzzy socks right now, and they each are like for a different time and they're different thicknesses. So I was in need of fuzzy socks. So actually this is perfect, yay. And oh, I need this as well. Some Burt's Bees. This is kind of like the holiday packs. This is cranberry spritz and it has like a hand cream. Don't look at my cuticles as I hold this. It's awful, they're so dry. And then a chapstick, and this is fitting because I also have some Burt's Bees things for my Secret Santa in their gift bag tomorrow. Yay, super cute. Okay, so I'm gonna go deliver the Secret Santa gift, come back, and then we are gonna start with the small group gifts for my house students. I don't think I worded that right, but you get the point. So for my House Day small group students, I'm giving them each a pair of fuzzy socks, which is very fitting after opening my Secret Santa gift. But I did a bulk pack this year. This has, I think, 24 pairs of fuzzy socks, so this will give me enough for next year. But our house color is red, so they're each getting a pair of red fuzzy socks. And then to package them, these are just like red lunch bags I got on Amazon, and then some red curling ribbon. So I'm gonna put a pair of socks in each bag, fold it over, and then hole punch it and tie it with the ribbon. Then during our actual house day, I'm gonna do a left-right game. So this one is called Frosty the Snowman. I prepped this last year and I'm just reusing it. But every time I say the word left, they have to pass the gift to the left. And every time I say the word right, they pass the gift to the right. So it takes some time to like read through it. I have them all in a circle. They all start with a bag. We read through it. And then whatever bag they end up with, they get to open. Now, they're all getting the same thing, but they don't know that at the start. They kind of think each bag is like a little bit different. And there's a suspense of which one they're going to end up with, but they are all getting the exact same gift. Okay, so I need scissors to open up these socks. Oh geez, they really they really sealed them in here. Okay, I feel like if I can just start to get some air into it, it'll make it easier. Maybe, wishful thinking. Okay, good enough. Nope, not good enough. Take that back. There we go. Okay. I mean, they're fuzzy, they're a little wrinkly. By a little wrinkly, I mean they are very wrinkly, but it's fine. So I'm just gonna kind of, I guess, ball them up like that, and then let's go ahead and open these. I think last year, oh, I did little gift bags that they were brown, they had red on them, and this year I went all red. So we're just gonna put it in. Y'all, this is not fancy at all. And then basically, fold this over, okay? And then we're gonna hole punch 2 little holes. So we'll do one there, and then we're gonna take a piece of curling ribbon, which I already cut these to make it faster. Okay, red curling ribbon, and go through this hole, through this hole. This is one of those things where I know I could just staple the bag and it would get the job done, but I feel like it's cuter when it has the ribbon. Okay, now I'm just gonna tie this and we're just gonna do a knot. Why am I struggling with this so much? All right, and then we're gonna curl it. These scissors, I love them. They're the spring-loaded scissors from Fiskars, and they're great for cutting, but I will say it's not the best for curling ribbon because they don't open super wide. Okay, so there we go. 1 done, 11 more to go. All right, so here are all of the bags prepped and ready to go for tomorrow. And then I have this bin that I keep in my closet for house days. So I just put the extra socks and then the extra bags in here. This is also where I keep my sparkly jacket. I also have a hat that I wear, but that way it's all in one place. And then next year I will be all ready to go. I'll have everything I need. I'll just have to assemble them. All right, those are done. Let me check them off my list because that will make me feel better. Prep socks for house day. Done. Next, I'm gonna be prepping the individual student gifts, which are the I Spy snow globes. I shared about these last year, so you can go back and watch last year's vlog for kind of the full rundown of them. But it was just an idea that I had where I'd basically fill a snow globe with little trinkets and little charms and things that represent aspects of our classroom and our class and me and their 4th grade experience, and put them inside of a snow globe where they have to kind of like move it around to find the different parts. And thankfully, a lot of the things I ordered for those last year, I'm able to still use this year. Like a lot of the little charms came in big packs, so I have enough for this year. But I did replenish some of the charms where last year maybe I only had 50 and that was enough for both classes and that was it. And I also had to get more of the snow globes. But all of that is at home. So when I get home today, we're gonna start assembling them. I'm doing the same thing as last year, but with a few tweaks, partially to make my life easier, but also it's gonna turn out better. So I think it'll be worth it. We are home. I apologize in advance for the lighting, because as y'all know, this time of year, it's dark by like 4:30. So we're doing the best that we can. Also, speaking of best that we can, I'm going to attempt to explain this in a coherent way. However, I also vlogged about this last year, so you can go back and watch last year's vlog. But the idea behind an I Spy snow globe is each student gets a plastic snow globe, and it is filled with little items, and each item represents something from our class. And then once it is filled up with the fake snow, the idea is they have to search for the items. I include a tag that explains what they are looking for, and then here are all the different items. Now, I'm gonna talk through what I'm doing differently this year, but just a few notes. The tags, so the tag that has listed all of the things inside, as well as the tag that I'm gonna put on the outside of the bag, those I created in Canva. I will link them for you. The plastic snow globes, which this is one of the items I had to repurchase this year because last year I only had enough for my classes last year. This would be something I repurchase every year. Those I got on Amazon. I will link them for you. A lot of the little trinkety charm things that go on the inside came from Amazon as well. However, there are a few that I picked up at places like Michael's. Also, I'm gonna talk through the filling because I'm doing that a little bit differently this year. Let's start with, here is last year's snow globe before it is filled with the fake snow. So there are all the different items, and I'll go through and explain those. And then I put the students' names on the outside in vinyl. And last year, I filled it with this fake snow that I think I got on Amazon. But I didn't love it because it was kind of hard to like shake and find the items inside. And I know that that's the point, but I don't want it to be too difficult. So this year, I actually switched to paper shred, and I feel like this is gonna work much better because some of the items actually kind of get caught in the paper, which makes it easier to find them. So last year I also tried these little snow pellets, and it was an absolute disaster. Do not use those. It was Static City. They were clinging to everything, and they're literally going in the trash as soon as I finish filming this. I do have leftover fake snow, but this was kind of a mess too because it got everywhere, and it was also staticky, less staticky than the little pellets, but still staticky, and I didn't love it. I had gotten white paper shred last year to put inside of the bags, and then all of a sudden I was like, wait, I can just fill it with the paper shred, and it turned out great. So that is my plan this year. In terms of things I had to repurchase, I got more white paper shred since obviously I am filling them with that. I needed more. This is a 2-pound pack that I got on Amazon. All of these are left over from last year. Like for example, these little gold stars came in 1,000 packs. So I'm never gonna have to buy those again. And then a lot of the other ones just came in big bulk packs. So I had enough for this year. with the exception of these moons. So one of the items in the snow globe, let's pivot. Let me go ahead and talk through the items that go inside. So each snow globe will get a little gold 4, and that represents 4th grade. These are little like brains, and that's because I tell my students to kiss their brains, and I also do a brain booster award.
Whoa. There's a lot of brain power in this room.
These are little dumbbells, they're so adorable, and those represent me, their teacher. We have these little hearts. Now last year I put all red ones in there, but they came in a pack with red and pink, so I can do either color. Those represent me loving them. And then we have these little cacti, and these represent our school. We have the little basketballs, those represent Trasketball that we play to review for tests. The little gold stars represent our class star jar. The little peppermints represent the mints that I give them before tests. And then one of the hints, so you'll notice on this tag, here's how I listed it out. Something that represents your school, something that shows the grade you're in, something that represents Mrs. Emerson, and then something that shows the subject Mrs. Emerson teaches you. So last year, I had found these little dice at Michael's, and that represented me teaching math. The problem is I don't teach all of my students math because some of my students go to tag math. So if I teach the student math, they're gonna get a die, but everyone is also going to get one of these little moon charms, and that will represent science because I do teach all of them science. And then I was gonna get something for social studies, but I couldn't find any that would ship in time. And then back here, these are a bunch of little colored beads, and these all represent the house that each student is in, so that is custom for that student. So if they are in the purple house, they get a purple bead. If they're in the red house, they get a red bead. So everyone's snow globe will be just a little bit different. Now, something else I'm doing different this year, first of all, I made the tag that goes through the items a little bit bigger. You can kind of see the difference there. I already mentioned that I'm gonna fill them differently this year. I also put this little circle on the bottom. So here is the one from last year. Obviously, Fake Elementary School is not the real name of my school. I have the actual name, and then I updated it to 2024. I just attached this to the bottom with a glue dot. I am not going to put their names in vinyl on the snow globe because last year it was a pain and I just don't think it's worth it. So instead, I'm gonna leave them blank like this, but I'm going to attach a tag to the bag that has their name. So I made these little tags in Canva. It says, I hope your winter break is so much fun, love, Mrs. Emerson. And then I put their name at the bottom of the snow globe. So this is going to get attached to the baggie. So each snow globe will go in this little snow baggie, and then I will seal it off with some curling ribbon, and I will attach this tag. And that will actually make my life easier because I remember last year, their names are on the snow globes, but once they were in the bags and then they had the white paper shred all around it, it was hard to read them. And so I was like searching for which one belonged to which student. Whereas this, the name will actually be on the outside of the bag, and I think it will work perfectly. So in terms of assembling these, I basically do it like an assembly line. I will take all the bases, lay them out, start to fill them with the different beads and trinkets, and then one by one, I will stuff the actual snow globe piece, put it on top, attach it, and then once all of those are done, I will start putting them in the bag. So I'm gonna go ahead and start to get that ready and start assembling them. All right, it is next day, Wednesday, and I have good news. I finished all of the I Spy snow globes last night. I felt like once I got on a roll, I just wanted to finish them. So it took some time, but it was definitely easier than last year. Let me show you again now in better lighting what all I did. I made a William because I had the Billy tag and then it got crinkled. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna go with the full name. So first, this is what it looked like fully packaged together. Now, I will put a screenshot of the actual printout that goes on the inside with it, but I didn't put anything else in the bag. Last year, I put the white paper shred in the bag, but this year it's just the I Spy Snow Globe, the little kind of direction sheet or descriptions, if you will, and then I sealed it together with the tag, put some curling ribbon on it, called it a day. As a reminder, on the bottom of each snow globe is a label that has our school name, my name, the grade, and then winter 2025. This was my example from last year. These are the items that are inside. So we have the cacti, which represents our school, the little brain, which represents kissing your brain and also our brain boosters, the little dumbbell, which represents me, the mint, which represents the mints I give them before tests, the die, which represents me teaching them math, or the little moon, which I forgot to add into here, but that is for me teaching them science. They have the heart to remind them how much I love them, the little basketball for when we play trasketball, the 4 to represent 4th grade, the star to represent our star jar, and then they each have a bead that matches the color of their house. And here's what it looks like when it is in the snow globe with the white paper shred. That is definitely the move. I am so happy I went with the paper shred. Oh, gosh, hold on. Yeah, basketball was on a roll, but I cannot believe I didn't think of this last year. It was so much easier to put them together, and it just works better for the I Spy Snow Globe because the items kind of get caught in the paper shred and then makes it easier to find them. Now, even after stuffing all 40 something of them, I had tons of white paper shred left, so plenty for next year, which next year I'm only gonna have to prep 1 class set instead of 2 class sets because we're not gonna be departmentalized. So that will be good. Basically, all I had to reorder for this year was more snow globes. I got the white paper shred, but I'll have that again for next year. And then a couple of the charms. I forgot to mention, I had to buy more of like the dumbbells and the brains because those just came in smaller packs. Now, granted, after using them last year and this year, some of them, like the little basketballs, I will have to get more of next year, but I held on to the extras and I just have a box that I keep in a spare closet at home with all of the various things, but absolutely obsessed with them. I feel like the changes that I made this year were for the better. I obviously did not do the custom names on the base of the snow globe, but it is on their tag, which I feel like works out just fine. Now, those are the individual gifts I give to each student on the last day of school before break, unless I know a student is going to be absent ahead of time. Maybe they're leaving for a trip. I typically email families. I'm like, hey, if you're gonna be gone, please let me know, for grades, because grades are due at the end of next week, but also so that I can give them their gift early. I love that I brought them into school already. That way, if I find out it's a student's last day, because sometimes you don't know until the moment. They're just like, hey, I'm done for the week. Like, this is the last day I'm gonna be here. I will have it ready to give them. The other part of my gift to students on the last day of school before break is doing the saran wrap ball game, which that one just kind of ends up being luck. Typically, students all end up with something, but some students definitely end up with more than others. So I like having the individual gifts to give them with the I Spy Snow Globes, and then I also cook a pancake breakfast for them, but that will be featured in the next vlog. I do, however, need to assemble the saran wrap balls. I'm gonna go after school today to grab a couple more things. I don't think I quite have enough. I definitely need some candy items to put in there, and then we'll just see what else I can find. And then tomorrow it is Operation Wrap the Saran Wrap Balls, and then we're done until next week, which feels really, really good. It is now Thursday, and I'm calling it now. I am determined to finish student gifts today. It's happening, I'm manifesting it. I also have a mess in front of me. Today is our wellness walk, which was supposed to be last week, but it got rescheduled due to weather. And the theme this year is reindeer run. Basically, during our specials time, we go outside and students and their families are invited to come walk or run laps, and then each lap earns a point for their house. And last year I helped my house to win it by running the whole time.
We're gonna be together forever.
We're running off into the sunset.
So we're gonna be running, and I ordered, this is so ridiculous, a reindeer onesie that I will wear. I also have reindeer antlers. I have a house shirt to change into, all of the things, but this is for later. We're just gonna shove that into the chaos that is happening behind me. I always forget this time of year just how much stuff, accumulates in the classroom. Let's talk saran wrap balls. This is one of my favorite things to do with my students. I've done it several years now, and it's just become a tradition. If you've never seen the saran wrap ball game, basically, I will divide my class into 3 groups. Now I'm doing this with both my homeroom and my switch class. So I'm gonna make 6 saran wrap balls, and you get that group of students to sit in a circle. They will be rolling dice. So one person will have the ball and the person to their left will have the dice. The person with the dice is trying to roll doubles. So they're rolling, and if they don't have doubles, they pick it up, they roll again, and they do it as quickly as they can to get doubles. Because once they get doubles, the student with the saran wrap ball has to pass it to them. Whoever has the saran wrap ball is trying to unwrap it as quickly as possible, because anything that falls out, prizes, trinkets, etc., they get to keep. So every year that I've done this, it's ended up where students have gotten at least something, and at the end I usually let them trade if they want to. But I have been collecting just little trinkety prize type things since before fall break, because if you don't start getting it early, it all gets sold out. And I'll be honest, I don't even remember what all I've gotten, which is kind of a, win-lose situation with buying early. It's great because I don't have to wait until the last minute and struggle to find things, but it's also bad because I forget what I've gotten, and then I probably got too much. But I got just 3 things of this 200 square feet plastic wrap from H-E-B. So the idea is each one I'll make 2 saran wrap balls out of. Hopefully it's enough. I guess there's an off chance that it won't be, but I always put fuzzy socks in the saran wrap balls because you want things that are easy to mold around the ball, because it's gonna start small and then get bigger. And something like fuzzy socks, you can easily wrap it around. So these came from the dollar store. They're penguins. I still remember the very first year I did this back when I taught, I guess it was 4th grade, but I had socks that were definitely geared towards certain genders, and I had a boy who got socks that looked like they were for girls, but he was so excited. He's like, I got lady socks. But ever since then, I've always made sure to get socks that I feel like are pretty gender neutral. So for these penguin socks, I got 4 pairs, so I'll do 2 per class. I also like to find things that are round or kind of more solid to act as the core. That's what will go in the middle of the ball that you build it around. These, I think I got from Michael's. They're just little penguin squish things. I don't even know. I don't know what half of this stuff is. It just looked like stuff that kids would be into. These also came from Michael's. They are little snowmen building kits, so almost like little mini Legos. I got 1, 2, I think 4 of those. And again, kind of soft. You can somewhat mold it around the ball. I also got these melty beads kits. My students actually use these during Makerspace, and this one makes different snowflakes. I got these, I believe, from the Target Bullseye's Playground, Dollar Spot, whatever they call it now. Oh no, I got 3 of them. All right, and then, oh no, I got 4 of them. I keep finding more. 4 of those, no, 5. Did I get, okay, there's no way I got 5 and didn't get 6. So there's probably another one of those hiding in there. Where did this come from? Hobby Lobby, I think. They're Grinch snap bracelets. I'm gonna try to undo them and wrap them around the ball, but we'll see. I don't know if it'll work out like that. These are scented cloud sand, also from Hobby Lobby. These are a little more chunky, but I feel like as the ball gets bigger, I can just slap one on the side. Those obviously came in a 4-pack. The slap bracelets were in a 6-pack, so one of those will go in each ball. These came from the Target Dollar Spot area. I don't know if that's all of them. There's probably another one. Oh, I found the other melty bead kit. Okay, so I did get 6 of those. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this must be all of them. So these were from Target. their little Adopt a Pet. It's just a plastic thing, but it says Adopt a Yeti. I thought that those were cute. Adopt a penguin, adopt a reindeer. I've got 2 of those. And then, what are these? Oh, adopt a snowman. So cute. So one of those will go in each, I don't even know what these are, squishy collection. I think these are just squishies. I believe they came from the Target dollar spot as well, but 8 of those, so some balls will get 2, I guess. Also from Dollar Tree, we have these little squishy pals. These are good because they're very moldable, so you can like wrap them around. Let's see, 2 white ones, 2 blue ones. I don't even know what these are supposed to be, but the kids will probably know. Pack of random erasers. I think these came from Target, but it looks like there's penguins and snowflakes and things, so can throw a couple of those in each one. Oh, these were so cute. So I found these at Dollar Tree. They're little mini things of Uno, so it's Uno Go. Now these were a little bit more expensive. I think they were $175 each. Did I add together all of this to know how much it cost? No. We're just, you know, we're gonna pretend we don't know, and then it doesn't matter. These also came from Dollar Tree, Nickelodeon slime. These would be good cores, because they're nice and chunky. And then I think this is all candy, which I'll just kind of put in there throughout. We've got ring pops, so each bag has 4. So I got 3 bags, so that means 2 can go in each ball. And then I also got these mini candy canes. Those are nice because they're smaller, so they're easier to fit. Some random Kit Kats that are individually wrapped. And then this is not candy, not edible. This is mixed scented slime, and it's a like Hershey's pack, so they smell like chocolate and peanut butter and strawberry, but this is a 12 pack, so I can put 2 into each one. So now I need to basically divide all of this stuff into 6 piles, and then I will assemble each pile into the saran wrap ball. So I will start with whatever's gonna be the core, wrap it in plastic wrap, and then as I go, I will start to add in other prizes and continue wrapping. And I like to create new layers. So I will wrap, 2 or 3 prizes in one piece of plastic wrap, cut it, and then put a new piece over top. That way, as the students go, they end up like finding the end of one piece, and they have to then find the start of a new piece. And as they do this, I always tell them no ripping. They're not allowed to rip into the plastic wrap. They have to go layer by layer. And if they start ripping into it, I make them pass it. So just to kind of set some expectations, if you will. I don't think I'm gonna film me assembling all of these because I did that last year and I don't need to show you again. Like, you get the point. But once I get one done, I will show you what it looks like when it's completed. So before I start wrapping, you can see my 6 different piles. They're not all exactly the same. They're each a little bit different, although I tried to make like these 3 are the same for one class, and then these 3 are the same for the other class. Now, when I split them into groups, each group is gonna have basically 7 students. So I tried to make sure that there were more than 7 items. Now, of course, there is always a chance that one student could end up with a lot and then another student could end up with nothing. But I talked to them about that beforehand, and that's why I do the snow globes, so every student is getting a gift. This is just kind of bonus, like fun. Plus, I know my students are super sweet, and I feel like if a student ended up with nothing, like plenty of other students would be like, hey, here, like I had extra. So thus far, it's never been an issue, but I always, in the back of my mind, know that it could happen. Now, I feel like overall, I did a good job, but next year, I feel like I only want to get items if I can get it in a multiple of 6. That way it's the same between every single one. For example, I kind of struggled because this one, the core is going to be the slime. This one, the core is going to be the little penguin plushie. And then I ran out of cores. I should have gotten more cores. I guess I thought I had more than what I actually did. So for this one, I might even just like stack these 2 and have them be the core, or have like the Uno Go be the core. I don't know, TBD, but we will figure it out as we go. The good thing with wrapping these is like, you just kind of go for it. Like, there is no right or wrong way. You just start wrapping, cut it every now and then, start a new piece, and that's good enough. Okay, we are done. One of them. Here's what it looks like. Is it a perfect circle? No, I don't really think it should be, but everything is wrapped up. You can see the very first item that will come out is the Adopt a Snowman. I wanted there to be like something somewhat bigger on the outside. Plus, as you go, you just find these like gaps where there's a spot and you're like, oh, that item will fit in really well. And I had this weird spot on the side, so it somewhat helped to even it out. But I feel like I used basically half of a roll, so I think having 3 rolls will work out perfectly. But I'm gonna have to go into like saran wrap ball mode and just power through these to get it done before my students come in. Otherwise, I can just put the trinkety items into the bag and do it later, but my goal is to have this done before students arrive. So that being said, I need to close out this vlog. Now, I went through with you the bags of the fuzzy socks for my house day students, which I gave them yesterday. They were so into it. I did end up putting some candies into one of the bags, so that way one of them was different. Now, I ended up giving them all a little piece of candy, but one student got a little bit more, and it was just the luck of the draw. And we talked about that, and they were great sports about it. And then I showed you the ornaments, the I Spy ornaments that I'm giving to every student, and then the saran wrap balls. The last part of their gift is the pancake breakfast. So on the last day before winter break, my team teacher and I, my switch teacher, we will combine classes into one, and we will make them pancakes, and we'll have a whole breakfast together, and then we will do the saran wrap ball game when I have each like individual class. So basically after the breakfast, we split back and we start with our homeroom class. We do our kind of gift exchange with them. We'll play the saran wrap ball game. We'll switch classes. I'll do the same thing with the afternoon class, and then that's it for winter break. But I'm gonna vlog on that day, so we'll come back to that. You'll get to see all of the saran wrap balls done, and then we'll talk more about the pancake breakfast on that day. But hopefully you enjoyed hanging out with me as I prepped all of the other nifty gifties. And as always, oh wait, hold on. Give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any future videos, y'all. I'm out of it. But as always, thank you for watching. I love you so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on, and I will catch you in the next one.